Hello everyone, my name is William from 222 Productions. Once again in Greensboro, North Carolina, sweating my butt off at this point because it's so many people in this building. We are at the home of the National Ninja League Season 5 World Championship, and this time around I am joined by a man who's known for going fast, doing crazy things, and eating corn dogs. I'm talking about Jake Murray. How are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's much appreciated. So, why you've built up a reputation for being a bit of a jokester, a bit of a happy guy on the course. What led to you doing these types of like weird stunts, whether it's entering on a Segway or in a straitjacket or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's just largely my personality and like the friends I grew up with. We love clowning around and having a good time, and I think a lot of it comes from that. But also, I think I'm just kind of a happy guy.
All right. So, you've kind of built up a reputation on the show for being a fast person. You know, twice you've gotten the fastest time on stage one, and yet your background's not in parkour. It's more of a rock climbing background. Where would you say this tendency to go fast comes from?
A lot of people don't know that I actually have an extensive skateboarding background. It's been 20 years this August, I believe, and so a lot of my speed and split-second decision-making and agility and balance comes from skateboarding. But yeah, there's rock climbing as well, which typically rock climbers aren't known for their balance or speed, but I feel like it helps me be more well-rounded.
All right. So speaking of skateboarding, just out of curiosity, what's your favorite type of trick to do?
Ooh, that's interesting. It's kind of like obstacles. I don't really have a favorite, much of anything in life, like movies, songs, anything like that. I just appreciate them all. But off the cuff, I would have to say 360 flips are my favorite trick.
More street or vert?
Anything. I like skate parks. Now that skateboarding has grown to where it's at now, Colorado especially is really good about putting money towards skateboarding and building awesome skate parks. And so I grew up as a skate park skater. I would liken it to like being a gym climber versus an outdoor climber. Like you just kind of get well versed and yeah. So I would say a park skater. I can skate transition. I can skate rails. I can skate gaps. You know, just about anything. I like it all, man. I'm easy to please.
There you go. So. Unfortunately, on the show, you've been a bit up and down in terms of reaching Vegas and not. What have you been doing this past year to ensure that you will make it to Vegas this time around?
I feel like on that front, not much has changed because in Tacoma, like season 9 as well, you know, it's these small mistakes, and it's not an issue of confidence or you know, being arrogant or overly confident or being so nervous that I'm falling. It's just little calculations or miscalculations that end me up in the water. You know, I like to think that it doesn't shake me too much, and I know that the way I'm training is correct and good for me, and that there's not much I need to change other than I need to be maybe a little more in the moment and a little more calculated.
I just thought of something. So you like to do these fancy intros, and you talk about being a skateboarder, but I don't remember you bringing a skateboard towards your entrance.
Yeah.
When are we going to see the skateboard?
You know, maybe I'll think about that this year. I don't have too much planned right now, just because when I come off of a bad season, I'd really like to focus a little bit more than normal and be a little, I'm not going to say, yeah, I guess more serious, I'll say it. And then just make sure that I'm like not wasting too much time. Not to say that intros or like celebrating after is wasting time because you've punched the buzzer or you haven't started the course yet. But maybe this season. I don't think skateboarding would be too funny, but it would be lighthearted. So maybe I should do something. That'd be pretty cool. Thanks for the idea.
There you go. You heard it here, folks. If Jake does skateboarding, you thank me. So, looking at this past year's Vegas course, did you get to try it out at all, or beforehand, like as a testing, or hey there, hey? Did you get to try any of the obstacles?
Yeah, actually, it was a blessing in disguise, I think, because falling early in any season, you can get asked to test in Vegas, and that's what happened. And I made lemonade out of the situation, and I got to test all the stages, including the rope climb, and it went well, we'll say. And it's very confidence building if I'm to get to Vegas and make it to stages 2 and 3 and the rope. You know, it's huge to have that hands-on experience.
So, what does a corn dog that has been baking in your fanny pack all day taste like?
I've been asked that a lot, and it didn't taste much different because, I mean, keep in mind it's Vegas in the summer, so it's like 118 degrees out some days. So it kept pretty well, and it tastes pretty good, man. It was I didn't eat, like, as most people probably remember, I didn't eat the whole thing. I just took a bite of it through it, but yeah, it wasn't half bad. It's pretty good.
Okay. So a couple of times when finishing stage one, you take the big plunge down below. That's a big drop. What is it like doing a cannonball into that from that high into the water?
The first season I did it was season 7. I was nervous about, one, the depth, but more so production disqualifying me, and which they didn't, thankfully. So yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I love cliff jumping, and it's about, I'd say, a 20 to 25 foot drop. So it wasn't too big. I was prepared for it, but it's a lot of fun, I'll tell you that.
So last year was a pretty big season in terms of results. Typically, we start seeing some changes when that happens. This is just pure speculation. What type of change do you think might happen this year outside of the inviting of the younger competitors that they have announced?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I hope to see an overhaul of 3. I feel like 2 as well could use it, but they do a pretty good job switching out 2, I feel, with the water walls and the Reaper Scythe or the Grim Sweeper. Yeah, that one is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, I just overall it would be nice to see like 50% new obstacles to keep it fresh. I really, really, really think that like the most important thing that they switch out now that we've had 2 grand champions is stage 4 though. I would like to see a spider climb to rope climb or a spider climb salmon ladder rope climb. We need something new and fresh there. Maybe something that we've never even seen in Sasuke before. That would be awesome, you know?
Dude, you are preaching to the choir with that one. I've been saying that since season 8 when they didn't change it.
Yeah, I think that was a huge surprise. I don't know. I'm assuming you were as well to see that it was the same darn thing. But I don't know, maybe because of the lack of clarity between Jeff and Isaac, they wanted like a cut and dry winner on the rope or something. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I certainly don't.
I'll tell you this, though. I would love to see a vertical limit on stage 3. Not that I've ever been there, but I'm hoping to make it there, and I would love to be the first person to clear a vertical limit on stage 3. That would be awesome.
The vertical limit's is an interesting one because it's so genius, but it's so evil.
Yeah.
And so I don't, like, realistically, how many Americans do you think could clear the vertical limit?
It depends on the circumstances because if it's right after let's say they had the cliffhanger and then it went straight into a vertical limit, we're talking very small percentage, a tiny minority. But if it's, the third obstacle, I think a good majority could clear it. Yeah, because really, realistically, it could only be so long, right, because of the trussing. But they could make gaps in it, make it difficult, different height differences. But yeah, I think a good amount could. We train it. A lot of us train it, so.
I think the width would also make a difference.
Absolutely, the actual size of the ledge. Yeah, 100%. Yep.
So this year, what's the goal?
The goal is always total victory for me. I'm training hard. I have been it's been almost 6 years of training, and I'm getting stronger each season. Getting older too, but still feeling better each season. So I'm always hopeful for total victory, and that's my focus.
Well, that's a good focus to have. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me. It's finally get to have some one-on-one time with my good buddy Jake. Oh,
perfect timing, right?
Oh no, the battery died.
That's perfect timing, right?
Yeah, I didn't get to do the outro.
Oh, okay. I'm happy to do it again, man.
Hold on. No. Hold on. Just give me. Hey, we're going to pretend that the battery didn't just die. Thank you again. Thank you again so much to Jake for coming. It's great to have you on. Make sure you follow Jake on all his social media. Links in the description down below. And thank you all very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more videos just like this. And I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone. It's like a 50-50 chance, and Ninja's going to do a crazy thing at the end.
Especially with me, it's 100% chance.